Look, if you're planning on moving to the Okanagan, you have to learn about all the different cities and towns that make up this beautiful corner of BC. And in this video, I'm gonna give you a full tour of the entrance to the South Okanagan in Penticton, British Columbia. So if you wanna learn about the lifestyle, the nature, the things to do here, the real estate, then you're gonna wanna stick around and watch this whole video. But before I get too ahead of myself, let's back out of this, take a look at the map and discover the neighborhoods that make up this beautiful BC town. All right, so first of all, I think it's important to kind of define the different neighborhoods in Penticton because it has a few, but I will say in terms of the various neighborhoods that Penticton has, it's not like Kelowna where, you know, I feel like Kelowna and even Vernon has kind of firmer set boundaries. Penticton, being a bit smaller, kind of lumps quite a few neighborhoods together. All right, so Penticton is essentially part of it, especially down on the flats, is divided into two sections. Up here you have Penticton North, which occupies this general area, and then obviously Penticton South occupies this general area. You have the airport. You have a lot of the big box stores on the southern area, right off of Highway 97, and then the downtown core is going to be in the north section. Here you're going to find some single-family homes, kind of smaller homes, more like Kelowna's north and Kelowna south, so smaller, older homes with redevelopment potential. But you're going to find a lot of condos, some townhouses, but a lot of condos, especially in Kelowna south area, especially near Skaha Lake Park. You're going to find a ton of condos. The median price for these areas of current active listings for the north, it's around $635,000, and for the south, it's $525,000. And that obviously heavily has to do with the fact that there's more condos, less single family homes. So first off, just to get it out of the way, we have Apex Mountain Resort, just to the kind of southwest of the city. So this is Apex up here, Mountain Resort, kind of the little village area. And Apex, obviously Apex is gonna be mostly condominium style places. Average price in this area is gonna be around $458,000. Then let's bring us back to Penticton proper. So the different areas in Penticton, so like I said, not overly defined, and they kind of lump some neighborhoods together. Here in this big area here, this is kind of my personal favorite area. Up on the hills here, you have the Husala, West Bench, Sage, Mesa area. All these neighborhoods are kind of lumped together. Beautiful area, right on the west side of town. Some places give you some incredible views of Lake Okanagan, some really good views of the city of Penticton. And the median price here is going to be just under $1.1 million. And then in this northeastern section, just kind of leading us into Naramata, which Naramata, I'll show you, kind of runs all along the eastern side of the lake. And like I've mentioned before, in the town of Naramata here is just almost right across from Summerland, and you can take Shoot Lake Road right by Shoot Lake there and come out in the Upper Mission here. It's a pretty bumpy road, but it is awesome, and Shoot Lake Lodge is a great place. But like I was saying, this is kind of the Uplands, Redlands area as you get into Naramata. A really nice area, some high-end houses. Median price of currently listed places is a $1.85 million, so definitely a little on the pricier side for that area. And then as we kind of venture down a little more, you're gonna get into, it's a little bit hard to see. Okay, yeah, so right in this area where the hospital is going to be the Columbia and Duncan area. More moderately priced places, you're going to have a median home price in this area of around $850,000. All right, and the last area we're going to talk about, just on the southeastern section of the lake, in this general-ish area, might not have that perfect, is going to be the Wilts and Valley View neighborhoods, and the median home price is just under $1.4 million. And so here in Penticton, north and south, you also have this road right here. It's Penticton Industrial, but I think there's going to be more commercial listings here. There's rarely residential listings. You have a lot more homes in terms of condos, townhouses, and single family, where up on the edges of town, I guess you can say, up on the hills and, you know, the West Bank, Sage, Mesa, Husala, Uplands, Redlands, even the Valley View, Columbia and Duncan. Columbia and Duncan is a bit more on the flats, but Wilts Valley View, Wills Valley View actually too, part of it is on the flats, but you can get some really great views in these neighborhoods, looking down into Penticton, looking over Skaha Lake, looking into Lake Okanagan, and the home prices are a little more expensive in these areas. And then, you know, Penticton, just kind of seeing where it is, you see that it's kind of sandwiched in between Lake Okanagan and Skaha Lake. On your way down to Osoyoos and Oliver, that hits right at the border. Osoyoos is right on the border. It's about, I would say, 30-ish minute drive, 40-minute drive down to Osoyoos from Penticton. You pass OK Falls, Caledon, and then, yeah, on the east side of the lake here, up from Penticton, you have Naramata, and this is the Naramata Bench here, where you're going to find some incredible wineries. And then obviously following Highway 97 north, you're going to go on your way to Kelowna, hitting Summerland, Peachland, getting into West Bank, West Kelowna, and it's about 45 minutes, again, depending on traffic. But those are the main areas of Penticton, just to get a kind of sense of where I'm going to be showing you places. But yeah, let's jump back in and show you a little more of Penticton. All right, now let's talk about real estate and amenities here in Penticton. In terms of amenities, Penticton is amenity rich, let's just put it. It's a city just like Kelowna. It has all the amenities you need, from shopping to restaurants to grocery stores. Of course, they have the Penticton Hospital. They actually do have an airport in Penticton that does do passenger flights. And besides all the things that you would find in a regular city, another thing that Penticton has is Apex Ski Hill and Resort, which, although it is a lot smaller than that of Big White and even Silver Star and Vernon, it still is a great hill. I've never been there personally. I have a lot of friends that ride it, you know, when they want to just switch it up, try something new. It has 4 different lifts, over 80 runs, and over 2,000 vertical feet of elevation, so there is plenty of terrain to take over. And in the summer, there's great mountain biking and hiking trails there. So to me, Penticton is almost like a smaller version of Kelowna. It still has the excitement, it still has the amenities, it even has the ski hill resort, but in just a little bit of a smaller package. Now, in terms of real estate, again, Penticton has everything that a major city would have. They have the condos, mobile homes, townhouses, single family homes on acreages, and everything in between. Right now, there's 529 current average listings, with a median sales price for all product of $575,000 and a median single family home price of $765,000. So it's a lot more closer to Vernon in terms of real estate prices. So if you're moving, you know, 45 minutes north or 45 minutes south from Kelowna, you're going to be saving yourself on average anywhere from $200,000 to $250,000. And with the vibrant lifestyle here, the incredible nature, all the amenities of a regular city, plus that very affordable home price, Penticton is sounding more and more desirable in terms of lifestyle and a place to purchase real estate. And if you want to learn more about the real estate, make sure you call me, text me, email me at the information on the screen right now, and I'll make sure to help you out. Now let's go over and discuss the things to do here in Penticton. So a big question you're going to be wondering is, what is there to do in Penticton? You know, it's going to be a little bit quieter than Kelowna. Not as much as Vernon. I actually find Penticton, out of the 3 major cities, to be kind of second on the list in terms of excitement and things to do, and that's my personal opinion. Some people may disagree and think Vernon is a little more upbeat and fun, but I think they might be wrong. Penticton just has a much more lively atmosphere compared to Vernon. Like in the summer when you come down here, I always find the parks and the beaches absolutely filled with people, and I think it's way more of a tourist destination than actually Vernon. Now, kind of like Kelowna, there are a ton of things to do here. One is going to be its amazing access to nature. You have 2 lakes on both sides. You have the beautiful Lake Okanagan, you have Skaha Lake. You're surrounded by mountains, so you're gonna have unlimited access to hiking, to the water. And one of the things Penticton is famous for is the Skaha Bluffs, which, I mean, there's amazing hiking trails there, but also it's a famous place in the area for rock climbers to visit. I personally don't partake in that sport, but I have friends that do, and it's kind of like the go-to destination for a lot of people in the area. Obviously, if you're into anything water sport wise, Penticton's going to be an amazing option for you. You don't have to own anything special. There is the channel in Penticton that tons of people come here every day in the summer to float down. And depending on the levels of the water and the speed that the channel is floating, it can be a really quick adventure, or it can be something that takes up several hours and fulfills your whole day. Now, there are a ton of great places to eat here. Places that have popped up recently since the last time I've been here that I'm not even aware about, but I've had friends come down here and talk about how many good restaurants there are. Some of the notable places that I've been: neighborhood restaurant here. Elma is an amazing place. It's a bit newer. You can get some really great, I can't even remember, I want to say Turkish food, but I don't want to be wrong on that, so don't hold me to that. But my ultimate favorite place to eat here is Theo's Greek restaurant. We have some really good Greek food in the Okanagan, but Theo's to me is the best in the entire Okanagan. It's our spot to hit up, especially after we wine toured in Naramata all day, to end your day with an early supper at Theo's. The experience there, it feels like you're actually in Greece. Not that I've ever personally been here, but the building is designed so it's very authentic. The food is incredible, and to me that's the number one spot I think you gotta come and check out when you're here for eats. And like I just mentioned, one of the biggest things to do here, my personal favorite thing to do in the area, is to go wine tasting on the Naramata bench. Now again, this is where it really kills me that I don't have the ability to have better drone footage, because Naramata, I think, is the most beautiful place in the Okanagan. I've probably said that for a few places. Naramata is number one. It may not be everyone's favorite spot to wine taste. I'm sure it's a lot of people. A lot of people like to venture all the way down south to Osoyoos and Oliver, where you get those big reds, you get that desert climate, and it's gonna give you really bold tasting wines. To me, going along the bench in Naramata, there is so many wineries, 30 plus wineries at least. Almost every winery having an incredible view. Looking out onto Lake Okanagan, looking up the lake towards Kelowna. It is a breathtaking area that I really feel is probably up there for my top three, if not number one, things to do when you're visiting the Okanagan. When you get onto the bench in Naramata, it's a long, windy road that leads up the side of Lake Okanagan, heading towards Kelowna. Honestly, if you're here, spend an ample amount of time visiting the bench here in Naramata. If you're lucky enough to find a place to stay, I know one of the places I've stayed previously is Sandy Lake Lodge, which was such an amazing experience. We spent the night there, got to venture on the bench with our own private tour that took us to a ton of different amazing wineries here, and we were able to wake up right on the lakeside. But I've heard, honestly, since the last time I've been there, which was quite a few years ago at this point, that it's incredibly hard to get in there. You really have to go in the off season, and if you're planning on going in the summer, you almost have to book years ahead. Even if you're not into wine, just going along the Naramata bench, you can stop and eat at some of the wineries. They have amazing food at quite a few of them, but if you are into wine, it's such a treat. It's such an amazing thing to do if you're on vacation here, you're visiting here, or you're a local and just want to do something incredible for the day. Highly recommend checking out the bench in Naramata. Go float down the channel, get some of the great eats that are available in Penticton, or if you're adventurous, go hiking, swimming, rock climbing, either on Skaha Lake, Lake Okanagan, and obviously rock climbing on the Skaha Bluffs. And another thing that some people may not know about Penticton is the Southern Okanagan Event Center here. Honestly, it almost gets better musicians, bands, comedians than Kelowna actually does. Like a couple of years ago, Jerry Seinfeld came here, not even to Kelowna, he came to Penticton, and they get some pretty big concerts. So there's always a lot of action going on in Penticton. And the summers are so lively here, with people floating down the channel, the beach is packed, the skate park packed, tons of different golf course options here. And one of the biggest things that happens in Penticton over the summer is Peach Fest, which is a huge festival where tons of different vendors come. There are rides, there's live musical shows. I've never personally been, but I've seen footage of it. I have friends that go to it, and apparently it's just an amazing experience. And that actually just happened a few weeks ago. But yeah, like I said, next to Kelowna, Penticton is definitely one of the most upbeat and fun places to live or visit in the Okanagan. Now things do quiet down in the winter, so you have to be ready for that. But the nice thing is, you're in the Okanagan. The summers are a lot longer here. You're a bit more south than Kelowna, so you're gonna get even slightly hotter and more dry weather, longer seasons. Not by much, because we're only about 40-45 minutes away from Kelowna, but still tons to do, great weather, great atmosphere, and just a totally great environment. All right, there you go. That's gonna wrap up my full tour of living in Penticton, British Columbia. Now, I wish I had some more drone shots for you guys, because this town is, honestly, it's so incredibly beautiful, especially coming here on a nice day like this. But hopefully the information I provided you, plus some of the handheld shots of the different neighborhoods, the beaches, and that gave you enough of a sense of what it's like to live here. And you know what? There's so many options. There's Penticton here. I just did the video on Summerland. There's Peachland, Lake Country, Vernon, Kelowna, West Kelowna. There's so many different options here, and so many options that are going to fit your lifestyle, but also so many options that absolutely are not going to work for you. And in order to figure out what's going to work for you, what's not going to work for you, you got to reach out to me. I pride myself on being a local expert and a relocation specialist. So if you reach out to me anytime with call, text, or email at the information on the screen right now, in the description down below, and pinned in the comments, I'm going to do everything I can to help you find the perfect spot for you and your family Whether you already live here, you're selling a home, moving to a new area, or you're moving from somewhere completely different, I'm going to simplify the process and make your transition as smooth as possible. But in order to do that, you got to reach out to me. And if you haven't yet, if you're new to my videos or you're returning, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can learn everything about what it's like to live in the Okanagan, the different towns that surround Kelowna, the cost of living here, and just more about the lifestyle so you can make an informed decision on where you want to be even before you come for a visit. My goal is to provide you with value-driven content to showcase what it's like to live in this beautiful area and provide you with all the information I can. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video, and I'm going to link you to a playlist that's going to show you what it's like to live in all of the surrounding towns around Kelowna, plus a link to my video giving you a full overview of what it's like to live into the main city, Kelowna, British Columbia. But again, my name is Boholij, your Okanagan real estate professional and relocation specialist. This is my channel, Living in Kelowna BC, and I will catch you in the next video.